Nordic Track Freestride Trainer is more than an Olympic.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope you all are doing well out there and enjoying your day. Hopefully it's great, fresh, and funky. Hopefully it's a prosperous one today for you. You know what I'm saying? We out here. We got a lot of things to talk about, or some big pieces of information, some things that are popping off that we do need to talk about. So I hope you guys are all having a wonderful morning. If you were over at the Benjamin Dixon show and now you're clicking and dragging your beautiful lashes over here, good morning again to all y'all. We got a lot of stuff that we got to talk about today. So I know, trust me when I say that I'm hoping that we are rearing the end of this Brian Laundrie saga. All right, this kerfuffle, this circus, if you will. Because I don't know about you, but I'm ready to wrap this up. I'm ready to nip this ting in the bud. Okay, I'm ready. So we got some things. We got some things to talk about. There's some speculations out here. This is not clickbait. I just want to make that abundantly clear. This is not clickbait. This is a theory that's circulating all over the world, okay? All over the ether. All the people that are supporting and watching this, biting their nails every 5 seconds, refreshing their Twitter feed, their YouTube feed, their Instagram feed, even their Facebook feed, if it's still working, that is. They're refreshing their feeds to find out more information about all this stuff that's been revolving around Brian Laundrie. So there has been some developments. We are going to talk about this here very, very shortly. Very, very shortly. But before we do me a solid. Hit that like button down below. Send this show off on a positive note. Let's send it. Send it on a positive note. All right? Don't forget to do that. And if this is your first time checking out the show, crush that subscribe button, please. Like I said, there's a theory out here saying that this man is no longer on this planet spiritually. All right? Speculation. So like I said, this is not clickbait. This is really something that people are circulating around, and it does make sense. The theory does make sense. So we are going to be talking about it. We do have some video clips that we are going to look at, and we do have something that I broke yesterday on last night's show about Brian Laundrie and Brian Laundrie's parents that I'm going to reread on this show today. But before we get going, my brother David's in the house. What's good, man?
Everything's good here. It's had a busy morning. Got a lot of writing in for the past about 3 hours or so. But I agree with you. I'll be happy when the story is closed up and we can move on.
Yeah, me too. I mean, like I said, I mean, it's not the whole thing of like being tired of talking about it. It's just being tired of hearing the left and rights and the rights and the lefts and the is it him? Is it not him? Is there a hand in the flower bed? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, bruh, because there's a speculation that Brian's body is buried in a flower bed in the backyard of the parents' house. Come on now. Like I said, too many speculations going on, and we just need to see more facts. Now, there's a theory going around here saying that Brian Laundrie could very well be deceased. And the thing is that before I even say anything, let me show you guys something that I broke last night during the live feed that I did about Kashan Sims, Kashan Cookie Sims. And if you don't know who this woman is, she is a fitness influencer that just recently went missing. She's been missing for about a solid month now. She put out a video that was predated, so posted 3 days after she went missing, basically saying that she is in a very volatile household with a very terrible and violent father. So while I'm telling this story, something else popped off, and I get an email. And that's why I love you guys, because all y'all are really, really into this. And I totally understand that. Not throwing any shade. I get it. We all want to figure out what's going on. We all want to bring justice for Gabby. We want to bring justice for everybody that's involved. Find the truth within these conspiracy theories and all that. But got an email, and it went a little something like this. And this is from Dwayne Chapman's daughter, Lisa Chapman. And it says, and I know a small print, so I'm going to, on the screen, so I'm going to read it out loud for you guys, all right? And this is as of last night at 7 p.m. my time, last night, okay? Sent out an email, I guess, a screenshot that says as such. Laundrie family attorney Stephen Baloney Bertolino said police asked for the assistance of Christopher Laundrie as they continue to search a Florida reserve for Brian, a person of interest in Gabby Petito's homicide. Not wanted. He has not caught a charge yet. He's not catching a case. He is still a person of interest, okay? For those who don't have access or don't know what's going on, Brian Laundrie's father consented to assisting law enforcement in the search for Brian, according to their attorney. Then here's one. This is what they say. He was not part of the search today. That was the father. He claims he was excited to help search for his son, claiming to search the reserve for claiming to search for the reserve for Brian Laundrie on the 13th of September for 4 to 5 hours when he didn't return from the hike. Remember, he drove out to the swamp because he wanted to meditate and be one with nature. He drove his nice Mustang out to the swamp to go hiking. This is all still alleged. The parents don't believe he's watching news in any way, shape, or form. They believe he's in the preserve or some other type of wilderness area if he has left the preserve. This is what Baloney says. So putting out a plea publicly and getting scrutiny for that is not necessarily in their best interest. Next and last thing, I don't know who put the term survivalist out there. Now, this is important. Remember what Cassie said. She said, he aight. So hold up. He aight with the outdoorsy stuff. So I don't know who put the term survivalist out there. Bernalino Baloney said, Brian is a hiker. He's a camper, aka glamper. I don't think he goes beyond that. So that's the article. That's the piece that we have from Lisa Chapman. Shout out to Lisa Chapman because she's been giving us some live updates on everything that's going down. But now, real quick, David, now Brian's father, Christopher Laundrie, is getting involved with the search. Now, here's the thing. There is speculation about this. I do have a video. I want to show that. But David, let me hear your thoughts really quick.
There was just an article that broke about 20 minutes ago, right as we were beginning the show. Ooh. So apparently they found a campsite that they believe is Brian Laundrie's within the Carlton Reserve. His father is there, like you just said. And they also found an abandoned Ford Mustang. They have yet to make that a direct connection to Brian Laundrie, but it was abandoned in the same region. So they're also investigating that Ford Mustang wait, as well.
Time out. Because I'm trying to make this make sense. Because they took back a Ford Mustang a while ago. when he drove off, left it out there. The parents drove a Ford Mustang back from the swamp. The car is parked outside their house as we speak, unless there's another Mustang that we don't know. He's been living the life like it's golden. That's news to me, baby.
The new part of the news is that that they've talked with the police now, and the FBI, not the police, the FBI has confirmed the Mustang was at the Laundrie's residence on September 15th and September 13th. The confirmation just came out, but the actual vehicle was missing a while ago. They just did not connect it to Brian Laundrie until this morning. And they also found that campsite of his that they are looking for. They took his father with them, and he pointed.
So I do have a real quick before we jump the gun. I do have a video clip. I want to pull that out. Keep that in your back pocket. Let me show this video because there's a lot that's going to be said in here. But maybe so they're saying a hippie at heart is saying the Mustang is his mom's. What the see Christina Scissors? What the hell is exactly right? What the hell? So there's two Mustangs. Bruh, see what I'm saying? So you're telling me that his hand is, so his body is in the flower bank? You know what I mean? In the flower bed in their backyard? Like, what is going on here, y'all? Like I said, let me show this clip. This don't make no sense, man. This don't make no damn sense. But here it is, though, real quick. This is from Brian Enton. Shout out to Brian Anthony because he's been out here paving, like pounding the Florida dirt, okay? The Florida streets, trying to find out more information about all this stuff. But like I said, this does not make it. What this doesn't make any. Another Mustang? Okay, here it is. Our latest report. Christopher Laundrie. See, that doesn't make. See, you're messing me up, David. So you're telling me, I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying, you're telling me that there's another Mustang.
No, I don't believe so. So they found this Mustang. It's probably the same one you're talking about, the Ford Mustang in September. Around 10th or the 15th.
Right.
However, they were not able to solidly connect it to Laundrie and his family until then. But today, the FBI brought up the vehicle again, the same vehicle that you're talking about, and have confirmed that now it was used by the Laundries, and it was the same exact vehicle that was at the Laundries' residence at some point under their surveillance. So they know that vehicle is at the Laundries' residence, and they know it's they know that now, and they knew before that the vehicle was abandoned in the Carlton Reserve area. But now they have an official connection so that it's no longer speculation. It is definitely a vehicle that was used by the Laundries.
I was going to say that the math ain't mathing right. I'm like, wait, there's two of them now? Okay. Thank you for clarifying that, because that was like, what? And everybody else here is going, what? As well. So moving on, we got a clip. I want to make sure that we see this clip, because this is going to be going off of why people are thinking that maybe Brian Laundrie is no longer here. One of the questions I want to pose real quick is, why would they involve Christopher Laundrie? Why would Christopher Laundrie be okay with getting out there now when he's been hiding in his, holed up in his house all the live long day? All this whole time he's been chilling in his house. Now he's willing to come out and help. So keep that in the back of your mind real quick, because of this theory that everyone that's circulating the internet. All right. So let's read this really quick. Christopher Laundrie was asked by police to assist in the search, attorney says. Plus, we look more closely at the fixed wing drone spotted at the reserve today. What sort of technology on it is helping with the manhunt? Okay. So let's take a look at this video, shall we?
Yeah, Marty, this is definitely a twist that we did not see coming, especially just within the last hour or so. Christopher Laundrie inside the house behind me, now apparently asked by the police to assist in the search for his son. I want to show you this. This is the text message that confirms it from Mr. Bertolino, the Laundrie family attorney. This is what he texted us. Chris Laundrie was asked to assist law enforcement in their search for Brian at the preserve today. Since the preserve has been closed to the public, Chris has not been able to look for Brian in the only place Chris and Roberta believe Brian may be. Roberta is Brian's mom. Unfortunately, Northport police had to postpone Chris's involvement, but Chris and Roberta are hopeful there will be another opportunity to assist.
So, again, why would they suddenly turn to Chris and Roberta to ask for their assistance. Now, why wouldn't they have asked them before if they knew there was something that a trail he liked to walk on, so on and so forth? Let's continue. But like I said, these are the questions that I'm throwing out to you guys. Think about it. Suddenly they're going, hey, we needed to be here. We needed to be a part of this search. Is it to identify a body? Getting next of kin to identify a body? Why bring only just Chris? Why not Roberta? You see what I'm saying? Why not both of them at the same damn time? Could there be a possibility of him being the only one that's willing to go and see a possible deceased body? Just saying that out loud. Could he be gone? Let's continue.
We followed up in text with the attorney asking, well, is he going to be going out there tomorrow to assist? Will he be leaving the house to go to the reserve? The attorney says at this point, it's in the hands of police, Marnie.
Did he elaborate as to why it was postponed today, their involvement?
He did not elaborate, but it's interesting that apparently Christopher Laundrie was supposed to go today. We don't know what got in the way of that, but it could now be happening tomorrow.
Well, and it appears by what he said, Brian, that they are volunteering to help in the search, not just being asked by police, but they are hopeful that they can be helpful in trying to find their son. So a major development from them tonight. They have been silent for weeks. The other big development today was this activity that was happening out at that reserve, that swampy area in Florida. What did you witness today?
Yeah, that's why this development tonight with Christopher Laundrie was interesting when it comes to the reserve, because today there was so much action again at the reserve. It's been quiet for quite some time today. We saw at least 15 different FBI vehicles focused in on one very specific area. It has been quiet at the Carlton Reserve lately, but not today. Dozens of FBI agents back in the swamp looking for any sign of Brian Laundrie. Why this spot and why the renewed attention here today? The FBI won't comment.
So they're going to stop in this area. And again, we don't know why or what they're doing, but we're looking.
And today at the over 24,000 acre swamp, this appeared, a drone, but not like the ones we're used to seeing. It's almost like a mini plane.
If they find an anomaly on the ground, a person, an object or something, they can give a ground team the GPS coordinates to center in on that exact location. Right?
Drone expert Michael Hill says this drone could have thermal cameras on it to pick up the heat given off by a person at night, or an even more advanced technology called LIDAR.
LIDAR for this would be more if he had a jump pack on him. He was camouflaged, you know what I mean? Hiding in a group of trees or something.
Yeah, Marty.
So this is what we have so far. Drones, big ass drones are being flown around the swamp. The father is now getting involved. He's out here doing his thing. Now, and to me, I keep wondering, like I said, and I see Vera saying LIDAR is pretty high tech. Yeah, I mean, if you're bringing a big ass drone that got wings and not just propellers, in my personal opinion, that's some serious ish. But like I said, why would they get the father involved now? There's so many questions that pop up that maybe he's just there to identify the body. But some people, as I'm seeing in the chat, some people don't think he's dead. I mean, this is speculation. Like I said, I'm not trying to create any type of clickbait or anything of that sort. But when you suddenly ask for the parents to come out and they are willing to participate suddenly, why were they not willing to participate before? Now they're participating now? That doesn't make sense to me. You see what I'm saying, David?
Yeah, so from what we can tell, and this is tied directly to the Mustang again, the police released the report on it last night and the news reported on it this morning. But the reason that his father was there is because they were trying to find the exact trails he goes along. And so the father came out there and ended up pointing out the trails that he commonly used, which was 16 miles away from the Ford Mustang they found and confiscated. So that's part of why they are looking more into this. So exactly along the trail is where they found the camp that they believe has evidence that he was there not long ago. And the vehicle, like I said, they just connected it solidly to the family and to the location that he was previously at, or at least close to 16 miles away from a location he was previously at, which is within a day's hike if he makes a very quick pace. So they have that as well. So that's the main reason the father is out there, was to pinpoint the exact trails that he commonly uses. At least that's the reason the FBI gave. There could be other reasons he's there as well. Like, if this rumor is true, I'm sure his father would be there to identify him. But from what they're saying, it sounds like they identified his items and or scent at the campsite and have since been looking for him to... I mean, that's why the father's out there. The family has just said last night as well that they still believe he's within the Carlton Reserve and that he has not gone to any other camp. Though it's not necessarily the case that his parents are trustworthy. I mean, if you remember just a few weeks ago, they drove 150 miles, went into a library, and then left once they realized they were being tailed and called somebody. Kind of sounds like in that incident, they might have been trying to meet their son, because they immediately left, drove 150 miles back home. Obviously, they didn't pick up anything from the library, but so why do they go there? But I don't think the parents are going to be a great source of information for this, and they probably will protect their child the best they can, or protect Brian.
Obviously, they have been, though. You
Yeah,
see what I'm saying? Obviously, they have been. They've been doing nothing but sitting in their home, not doing anything, and then suddenly the cops are going, "Hey, can you come out and help us?" And they're like, "Sure." Suddenly now, it's been weeks. It's been weeks of searching. It's been weeks of being out here and all that. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to all of a sudden go, "Oh, by the way, my son would take this particular trail all the time." What? Like I said, it doesn't make any sense. Why would they suddenly just want to help now? Oh yeah, let me show you the trail. It's too late. If he's gone, then it's too late. Now, of course, you just said a second ago that they did find some sort of like camping grounds or a campsite, that somebody was there. Now, that could very well be it, but he's been gone for how long now? He's had plenty of time to start trucking. So even if the parents do help them, isn't it too little too late? David?
I would guess. Go on.
What were you going to
say? So can you ask your question again? I couldn't hear you very well.
It's all good. What doesn't make sense to me is that the why would the parents suddenly jump in now? Like, this is just doesn't make any sense. Isn't this too little too late?
I don't know. I mean, I would say so, because if you remember, they have been asking the family for information for quite a while, and they have been unwilling to give it. Not just Brian, but they've been unwilling to give a lot of information about him as well. So at this point, it's, I mean, like I said, they're working directly against the FBI. I do think that they have been trying to support Brian beforehand. That's why I brought up that library incident where the FBI, or not, it was another agency, tracked them to the library just to see why they drove a total of 300 miles in one day to go look at. They didn't even look at books from what they said. They just called someone as soon as they were there, which is very shady, obviously. But so I think they have been helping him, their son, and I think now they're just giving the FBI this very little bit that they can kind of use to find this campsite. And so they did find this recently used remnant at the Carlton Reserve, and but it's been closed to visitors. That location has been closed to visitors since before the camp was built. So the camp was built after the restrictions to normal hikers went into place, because the police have been looking at that specific trail quite a bit, the Northport police in specific. So right now, it's not clear why he suddenly pointed out the trail he was on, but they've been holding that he went to his favorite trail at the Carlton Reserve for some time. So they're just kind of confirming what they've already said in the past. They're not necessarily giving new information. They're just pointing out the very specific trail instead of leaving it to the name that they had. But so the FBI and Northport police say regarding the campsite found and the family's involvement in the search, they believe that they have decided to work with the Port Police because they're not going to be the ones making the decision on any case related to Brian Laundrie. They aren't necessarily as willing to work with the FBI right now. So it's a bit of a mess over there. But they still hold, or at least the family of Gabby and their lawyer still holds that Brian knows exactly where he is, and Chris and Roberta know exactly where Brian is, and that they're just covering for him, which does seem like it would be the case if you consider their previous actions.
Yeah, I just keep thinking, like, I mean, in my personal opinion, it does feel a little bit like too little, too late, right? It's like for them to come out of their way to try to help now, because I think that he would have been long gone. I think he's long gone. And to answer everybody real quick, I don't think he's dead. I think he's long gone. I really, really do not think that he's in that swamp. I really don't. Now, I could be completely wrong, but at the same time, it just doesn't make any sense. There's so many like left turns that are happening all the time. Now, we do have a super chat that I wanted to do. Candace Cullen, thank you so much for the Canadian $5. Thank you so much. She said, if they take Chris Laundrie out searching, it would likely be their only chance to speak openly with him while not under interrogation. Suss him out. That's a possibility, but that's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy just to have him out, to suss him out. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, it's still the idea of Brian Laundrie actually being dead is still, the theory is circulating out there that his body is in the swamp. I just don't agree. I think like what I showed a video of a cowboy talking about this, saying, buzzards would be around. You'd see all types of things. I mean, it would be hard to miss if there was a dead carcass, a dead body of any sort. There would be remnants, proof that he was there at least. You see what I'm saying? But you don't see any of that, But of course, they're trying to cover as much ground as they can with this drone. So hopefully we can get some more information and some more truths here. But real quick, don't forget to hit that like button down below. I see about over 1,100 souls on all platforms watching the show right now. Please send those likes all the way up to 500. That would really mean a lot. Hit that like button down below. And for those of y'all who are watching this show for the very first time, please don't forget to crush that subscribe button. It'd be really great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. I do have another clip I want to show you guys, but David, it sounded like you wanted to say something. So speak.
Right. So people in chat were asking about this. This is a story that's been going around that Roberta has been working for the district attorney for like 10 years. Mm-hmm. That is not the case. She was previously a private secretary for most of her life, making about less than $30,000. However, in 2020 is when she started being on the GS pay, which is for government citizens at the end of 2020. They'd have the exact job she had is not released, but it was definitely for the government after 2020. So that is probably part of their investigation. They have not announced exactly where she was working, though it's confirmed it's for the government because they confirmed her pay was GS like 11 or something, which is a very specific pay grade for government working citizens. So there's a possibility for the past year she has been involved with the government. She has definitely been involved with the government, but there's a possibility that she's involved with some sort of law enforcement or after that point. But before 2020, she was not working for that. She was working as a secretary for private companies.
There you go. So some of these things can be debunked because, obviously they say there are possibilities of connections with law enforcement and the reason why they're getting away with all this stuff and how they haven't caught a case and they haven't been brought in for some serious, arrested and thrown into the jail cell. They are connected in some sort of way with some higher ups in law enforcement. No, I don't think that at all. I think that they are hiding behind a whole bunch of red tape. There's a whole bunch of things. Like I said, there are laws in place that protect us as citizens as well. And this is the reason why they're exploiting the hell out of those things. They're exploiting the hell out of those things right now. That's the reason why they are still cozy in their domicile, breathing in the freedom air. Now, I want to show this other clip really quick. This is only a few hours ago. Literally about 2 hours ago, this was just posted. All right. So let's take a look at this. And it has to do with the father being asked for help.
We have some new developments tonight in the search for Brian Laundrie. The Laundrie family attorney says that Brian's father, Christopher Laundrie, was asked to assist law enforcement in their search of the Carlton Reserve today. The attorney added that the Northport police postponed his participation, saying, quote, "The Laundries are hopeful there will be another opportunity to assist," end quote. A spokesman for Northport Police also told Fox News tonight his department did not make that request, nor would they be the asking agency in an FBI-led investigation. Meantime, the family of Gabby Petito, they're speaking out. After the last few days, they have appeared on the Dr. Phil show. Gabby's parents and step-parents are opening up, saying at the end of August, they were concerned for both Brian and Gabby after they hadn't heard from them. It wasn't until after contacting detectives that they learned Brian was home, Gabby was not. They told Dr. Phil that his parents never responded to any of their calls or any of their texts, and that it's all been an emotional roller coaster.
How do you feel about it?
Okay, we've already seen this piece. Okay, but I'm going to run that beginning part one more time.
We have some new developments tonight in the search for Brian Laundrie. The Laundrie family attorney says that Brian's father, Christopher Laundrie, was asked to assist law enforcement in their search of the Carlton Reserve today. The attorney added that the Northport police postponed his participation, saying, quote, "The Laundries are hopeful there will be another opportunity to assist," end quote.
So now they're interested in helping out? Now, hold up. Let me check my watch real quick, the dates and stuff. Okay. David, can we math here real quick? Can we just do some logic? Can we do some math?
Sure.
Real quick? Help me out because you are the brain. So here it is. Look up when they officially said that Brian Laundrie was missing. When the parents said that he was missing, when did they say he was missing?
That was, I believe, September.
A date. I need an exact date.
All right.
Sorry.
I'm going through a chronology right now. I have it.
It's all good, baby. Take your time, man. We got time. I'm just saying, let's math this out. So it was like what? The 20th, I think?
Let's see. So on September 17th, the attorney for the Laundrie family, Stephen Bertolino, called FBI investigators and told them at that point that the family wanted to talk about the disappearance of their son. So September 7th is when the lawyer reached out to have that interview and communication.
September 17th. So when they said, oh, my bad, our son is gone. He has been home since Tuesday, which Tuesday is, I'm assuming that was the 14th or 15th, because it was like a Thursday, right? It was a Thursday when they showed. I'm sorry, like the dates. I have so many different dates in my brain about this. They had been gone for like. He was gone on on that Tuesday. So the 17th is what day, real quick?
Friday.
Bang. So he had been gone. So okay, Friday, Tuesday. So it was like the 13th, right? Something like that.
Yeah, sounds right.
Something like that. Okay. So he's been gone since the 13th. Yeah. Thank you. Wellness Sarah says the last time they saw that ass was the 13th. Okay. Thank you. So let's math this really quick. It's almost a month. Sorry, but it's almost a month. So now they're going, we're okay. Let me get my dusty ass up and help these people. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Like you've had a month. He's had a whole month head start. So now they're going, oh, you want to know his trail? You want to know the trail that he likes? Yeah, I'll help you out. Sure. Come on. You know that they say that they've seen a campsite, right? That they witnessed a makeshift, as Dog the bounty hunter likes to say. Who's to say that makeshift was done 4 weeks ago or
and
weeks ago? It's almost a bloody month, everybody. Make this make sense, people. Make this make sense. Do you see what I'm saying here? We're in October right now. It's almost time for Halloween, baby. This was in September when he was gone. It's October 7th right now. No lie. And now they're getting up and helping out. 3 weeks or so, that's a lot of time to kick rocks. That's a lot of time to get through a whole swamp and all that ish. Ducking drones and dudes and dogs and all that stuff. And Dog the Bounty Hunter throwing everybody off the beaten path. Your family's going, oh, he's over there. No. Oh, yeah, he's over there. Cassie's saying certain things. You see what I'm saying? There's plenty of time for this dude to just run off. And now the parents want to help. And now they're saying, oh, yeah, there's a trail he likes to use. Now? Come on, y'all. Let me show you the trail he liked to use 3 weeks later. Come on, y'all. He ain't dead. This is what I think. He is not dead. This dude is not bloody dead. He out here on the run.
And about the dates on when he disappeared, a few people were mentioning this in chat, and it is a pretty significant point, so I want to bring it up.
Unbelievable.
So originally, one of the main problems with this investigation was that the police were focusing almost entirely on the actual day he left, because allegedly, according to them, I believe the initial date they said was the 14th, and then the police were arguing that it was supposed to be the 13th, and pretty much there's just a dispute between the police and the family, and it seemed like they were working for a few weeks to try and pinpoint the day he actually left. And it does seem like after their investigation that the family may have misled them, and that Brian may have left an entire day earlier than what they are reporting on that Monday. But if it's been confirmed, it hasn't been released that that's confirmed, but that is what that is what they were saying before.
You see what I'm saying? Like, hold on, I got a statement here, or a comment. Joseph McEwen, what's up, my brother, all the way from Texas. He says the crazy part is that here in Texas, 2 kids were found in 14 hours in deep forest, and the FBI can't find this guy camping or glamping. You're telling me that this dude, like I said, I'm telling you, if he's been dead, if him dead, okay, they would have been found this carcass a long time ago. They would have been found his dead body somewhere. Like we've been saying before, there would have been buzzards flying around. The guy wasn't wrong. The guy that I showed about him talking about surviving in this swamp, right? Now, I did have my boy from Wildlife Command Center, Michael Baran, Bare Hands Baran of Bare Hands Rescue, the reality show. He did say, hey, if there's a will, you could definitely make a way out there in the swamp. There is a way of surviving, but at the same time, can you dodge drones, dogs, people who are going out there? They're spending $200,000 a day on manpower to go out there and comb this. Now, don't get me wrong. I get it. The swamp is gigantic. It's massive. I get that part. But he also has had a huge head start. Huge. There's a lot of coverage you can make if you're really on the run. If you really are desperate and you're trying to get out there as quickly and as fast as you can, bruh. Like I said, the other part, let me point this out as well. Social media put out a video, the Bethunes, their van life video was put out, Grand Teton, right? Within a day, if I'm correct, within a day or two, they found Gabby Petito's body, discarded body, just like that. And they can't find his, if he is dead. I'm just speaking logic real quick. If he is dead, they still haven't found his body? Come on, y'all. Like I said, he ain't dead. He is still alive out here in these streets, in these wilderness streets. He is not buried in some flower bed in the backyard. Maybe they buried some stuff in the backyard, that maybe the murder weapon or whatever. But trust me, there is no dead body to claim right now, because we would have claimed it. Trust me, David.
I was going to say, if his family was correct and that he's more of a just a camper and a hiker, he probably is not too far into the backcountry, or if he is, he might even be lost or something, not really knowing what he's going to do. Because I do kind of believe his family on that one. If you consider the fact that he most likely killed Gabby, it seems, and her body was found at a campsite. It wasn't even hidden in the woods. It was in the park, but it was at a campsite just off the trail. So he didn't even take the body somewhere like deeper into the backcountry. So it's very possible that they are right, and he is not the kind of survivalist that can comfortably live in the backcountry. So if he is off of a trail or not in a vehicle, he probably is having a rough time just trying to figure out where to go and where he is. But it's going to be hard to find him if he actually is in Florida, or if he's in any of those jungle type areas or any of the swamps, just because the canopies can be really thick and can be really hard to see. I mean, obviously you can't see something on the other side of a tree, even if you're flying, if the tree is big enough to block your view. So there's a lot of places to hide in more organic areas like that. So it could be hard to find him, especially since they don't know exactly where he is via drone. But I do kind of think, just based on where he left that body, that he probably isn't much of a kind of backcountry person or survivalist, if according to what his, I believe, sister said. It does seem to check to me, at least.
Like, it seems like he dabbles. He's a glorified glamper, right? But, you know, it's not like he doesn't know. I mean, I'm assuming if you like to hike that much, it's not like he doesn't know a few things in his back pocket. Like, just in case, worst case scenario, you run out of water, do this. Or if you run out of food, you run out of your rations of food, you do this, so on and so forth. I mean, there is a good possibility of that for sure. But him being dead or him still being in those swamps, I really, really doubt it. I'm just saying. And Nur just said, running away is tiring. Absolutely. At some point, he's going to peter out. At some point, the gas is going to deplete, unless he's literally in a car, which he could very well be in a car too. He took out $1,000. You can buy a jalopy real quick. You could buy a piece of trash car that gets you from point A to point B real quick for a couple $100, and the rest is for gas. And all you got to do is get to that point wherever you need to go. Drive into the Appalachian Trail or Appalachian Mountains. Them thar hills. There's plenty of things he could be doing, y'all, but he ain't in those swamps. If he's in those swamps, then he's dead. And if he is dead, they would have already found him by now. That's what I think. Now they're bringing out the super LIDAR drone thing, and hopefully by the end of today, we will have some truth. We will find out what's going on, if there is a body out there or not. But they've been doing weeks of search. Millions of dollars have been poured into finding this young man, this alleged criminal, and they've come up with nothing. He is not in that swamp, y'all. He is not. Maybe he was there before, and what they're seeing is a makeshift, right? Over there. They're seeing a campsite that was made. That could have been weeks ago. He's gone. You never know. Brian could very well be watching. He could very well be watching on a phone or something like that, just checking out on what's going on so he knows where to go. Should I head west? Should I head east? Should I go north? Should I start going south? What am I going to do? He ain't gone dead, but he gone. He ain't in that swamp, like I said. And if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. But, because we're all theorizing. But, David.
I was going to say that so LIDAR might be a better way to detect him, but it's still not a guarantee. LIDAR stands for light detection and ranging. Yeah, and it's basically if you just think of like a half sphere and it just sends out lasers everywhere. and those lasers basically map out what's beneath them, and that's how you get the exact heights and distances of everything. But you can also record that, so that changes in it, like changes in elevation or the canopy, will be detected if they do another scan and compare it to the first LIDAR scan. So LIDAR is more useful than pure television cameras, but it still has the problem where it needs line of sight, and anything that's opaque or a solid object is still going to reflect those lasers and hide Brian.
Interesting. So wait, real quick. I may have missed it. Can they detect a dead body? Can something like that, because obviously there is no heat, right? There's no body heat out of the body. The body expels all that stuff, right? The body goes cold. So would they be able to detect a dead body through this LIDAR?
Yeah, LIDAR doesn't depend on heat. It's purely based on vision. We just can't see all the lasers, but basically there's a bunch of lasers just outside of your normal field of view, and those lasers just scan over the top of the area. They do not detect heat. They detect elevation, but to a very accurate degree. So if they found a human body, it would probably stand out. They might even have an algorithm to find that kind of object, because it's accurate enough. They will be able to tell that it's a human body in terms of the imaging. The imaging can be very precise. They use it in caves a lot, and you can watch, if after we're done here, you can even go watch how they used it in caves some to map those in the dark. But so it's a very powerful and effective system. It does not detect heat, though.
That is dope. I do appreciate you telling me that. I do appreciate you giving us that information, because that's some good information to know. Real talk, because I would never have known that. But hold on real quick. I do have a super chat that I want to grab real quick. I'm sorry. I'm queuing up a video. There's another video that I want to show you guys, because we haven't really discussed the hiker. And I want to show that really quick before we move to our next story. And of course, we are going to be doing a call-in segment about this here, about Brian Laundrie, whether he is alive or not, what your thoughts are and all that. So be sure to stick around throughout the entire show, because here's the thing. There is information about another missing woman by the name of Lauren Cho that we do need to talk about. We're not talking about it right now, but we will be talking about it here in another segment. But we do have a super chat here. Jamarcus and Antone, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. He says, what if they had someone in Florida's shaved head and beard portrayed to be Brian, while Brian is in fact somewhere else? Now, that's some crazy, like, Usual Suspects type of crazy theory. You never know. Some people are crazy. They'll do it. People are weird. People do anything they can. There's another story that I wanted to cover. I forgot the woman's name. I feel like a jerk right now, but this woman's been missing for 3-4 years now, and it's a story that I'm trying to bring in the mother of this woman. But there's another woman that's gone missing for the past 3 years, and what's crazy is that they had the boyfriend actually had a girl dress up like her to walk out of the house and walk down the street, just so that security cams could see a woman that looked kind of like her walk down the street. You see what I'm saying? Just to be like, yeah, she left the house. She's not here. You see what I'm saying? But that is real. That's a real story. So I wouldn't be surprised if somebody was crazy enough to be like, hey, let's get as many Brian Laundrie lookalikes as we can. I mean, weirder things that happen. Look at the dad. The dad is a skinny. I mean, you can clearly see that he's an old man, but what if he was on some weird, dimly lit day or at night, dressed up like his son real quick? Weirder things have happened, Chuck Diesel, exactly. A decoy. Thank you. That's the word I was trying to find. A decoy. You see what I'm saying? Anything's possible, y'all. Shoot. Weirder things have happened, baby. Weirder things have happened. So to me, this would not be a far-fetched idea. Okay. But I do want to show this video because, like I said, this is something that we haven't really covered as much, and I feel bad because I said I was going to cover about the hiker that spotted him in the Appalachian Trails. We definitely do need to talk about that real quick and take a look at this particular video because this stuff is just fascinating. Like I said, this is the season for the bald, bearded, skinny white guys. You know, it's crazy. Halloween's going to be insane this year. Let's take a look at this.
More possible clues in the hunt for Brian Laundrie.
Just the way he was acting, the things that he was saying made me think that he was not stable.
Hiker Dennis Davis meeting with the FBI today after contacting law enforcement over the weekend, saying he had an encounter with a man he believed to be Brian Laundrie.
I'm 99.99% sure that was him.
What made you so sure it was Brian?
I pulled open another picture of him, and it was a profile view. And of course, that's the angle that I had for the majority of the time that I was talking with Brian. And when I opened up that picture of him, my body, I had a physical reaction to it. My heart jumped out of my rib cage. It felt like my blood started pumping. There was just no doubt in my mind. Again, the way my whole body reacted to that encounter.
Davis says he was on a hiking trip on the Appalachian Trail in North Carolina near the border of Tennessee. He was driving around 12:30 a.m. on Saturday morning when a man waved him over for help.
He went on to tell me that him and his girlfriend had a fight, that she called him and told him that she loved him. And then he told me he was trying to get to California to see her. I basically sat in my car wide awake for the next 5 hours, because I couldn't go to sleep. I mean, I was just super pumped up. Again, was thinking, let's get the police out here and go catch this guy.
The Haywood County Sheriff's Office in North Carolina confirming to NBC News that Davis met with the FBI at their office and saying the Sheriff's Office has received and responded to numerous reports throughout Haywood County over the course of the last week. We will continue to pursue leads surrounding this case as they come in. Laundrie is a person of interest.
Now, we already know all this stuff, but I will say this. When it comes to this gentleman, Dennis Davis, right? I do think he genuinely believes that he ran into Brian Laundrie. I don't think he's making this up for clout. I think he thinks he ran into somebody that strongly resembles Brian Laundrie. But look, how many dudes do you know that look kind of like him? Like Brian. This is why I froze the frame, because I want to make sure that we got to look at this real quick. How many dudes do we know that look a lot like Brian Laundrie? I can name at least 5 guys right now that can resemble, closely resemble, clean shaven or with a beard. Same build, same look, with or without beard, bald. So whoever he ran into, I think he really does genuinely believe that this man that he ran into could possibly be Brian Laundrie. And it's not a far-fetched idea either. If he was able to buy a car, like a beater, he was able to buy a piece of junk car for a couple $100 at some local, car dealership, jump in that thing and drive off. I mean, he's got plenty of time to get up to the Appalachian Mountains. It's not hard. It's not hard to do that, guys. But like I said, again, take a look at Brian Laundrie's face. How many people do we all know personally that look like or could strongly resemble Brian Laundrie? Just saying. I really do think that he really does believe that he ran into Brian Laundrie. I do have a super chat that I want to bring up here because it is important as well. Oh, there it is. Thank God it didn't disappear. Good. Miss Will I Ams, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Thank you. And I do appreciate what you say here in this super chat as well. She says, where's the same energy for Jelani Day that they have for Brian Laundrie? What happened to Jelani? That's a good question. This is why we are talking about not only just Jelani Day's case, but also people like Lauren Cho or Kashan Sims. or any other people that we have covered on this channel. Funny thing is like we've said a million times before, when it comes to certain situations, it seems there's a lot of attention that goes out there about that specific case or about that specific person. And what's really sad is that as soon as they said we found Jelani Day's body, I mean, the story was dead cold. It just went cold. Even though there's still a hashtag saying what happened to Jelani Day, justice for Jelani Day. It's still circulating the internets. Still, it almost seems like it just went cold. Like the case just went straight cold. So I do appreciate you asking that question. And yes, Willie Moore, that's exactly the story. I just forgot her name. I was just reading an article about her yesterday afternoon, and I'm forget the name escapes me, and I feel so bad. I think it was like Kyrian, something like that. I feel terrible, but her name just escapes me right now. But yes, it was the woman where there was a decoy basically that walked out of the home dressed up as in her work clothes to throw people off, to make people think that she was last seen basically walking down the street to go to work. You see what I'm saying? But they're saying the speculation or the theory is that it was a decoy. But that's a totally different story in itself, which is something that I'm looking into to cover on this show as well. But yes, when it comes to these other stories, as soon as they go, oh, they found the body? Okay, cool. And just people move on with the quickness. It's unfortunate. Real talk. Don't forget to hit that like button down below, guys. And please hit that subscribe button. Be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. David.
Yeah, so I was going to say that I do agree to an extent, especially when I was in the military and there was a bunch of dark-haired white guys that had everything shaved. It could be hard to tell some of them apart if I didn't work with them regularly. But Brian Laundrie is fairly short. He's 5'8", and a lot of the identifications have been knocked out of the park simply because he was the person they spotted was taller. A lot of people seem to think he's taller than he is, where he's actually 5'8". But that should help identify him to some degree, and it does help, and it has helped get rid of false claims, because there's some people saying they've spotted Brian Laundrie, but obviously he was like 6 feet tall, which isn't him at all. So that is one useful thing that stands out about him. He's young, he's bald, and he's only 5'8". So he's got the IDs, but or not IDs, the tattoos, which might be hard for someone to see, but I do think a lot of people are pointing out the wrong person because they don't have enough familiarity with his face, especially if you're just like using a TV or something that doesn't have enough resolution to see all those details. People can make that mistake, definitely. I think so. And I think his height is one of the important things because, like I said, that's discredited several of the claims that they spotted him simply because the guy they spotted was quite tall. And I can see why they would make that mistake, because if you see him next to Gabby, they both look thin, and he does look reasonably tall next to her because of that. So I can see why people are making that mistake.
She is short. I mean, she's small, just like that. You know what I mean? So, like I said, it's crazy. And with all this, there's just so many questions that still are popping up. The people sit there and say, "Oh yeah, there's possibilities of maybe that the tattoos aren't really real that he has on his body and all that." And it's like, no, those tattoos are real from what I've gathered, from what I've seen. Those tattoos and the photos that are out here stay consistent. They don't fade or change or anything of that sort. So, I mean, this is something that he does have. So if there's other ways, if that's the only way that people can identify him, then that might be one thing. There's been TikTok videos of him at the Appalachian, or speculations of him being on the Appalachian Trail as well, doing this, that, and the third. We just, like I said, we don't know until we actually see the physical evidence. Not some, like I said, not some crazy fuzzy photo. Like a good solid thing, a good solid photo, or a good solid piece of video, not some zoomed in, heavily pixelated thing like he's Sasquatch, like he's some mythical character. or mythical creature up in this piece. This is exactly what's going on right now. You know, the only way we're going to be able to find him anywhere is if we're using everything using the resources that we have and the knowledge that we do have about him. His physical attributes, his tattoos would be a dead giveaway. You know, say that the guy that you're talking to or you run into who looks a lot like Brian Laundrie, and he has his, say he's got his hands stuffed in his pockets and he's not willing to take them out. Maybe that might be a dead giveaway. If he's wearing gloves, that might be a dead giveaway too, right there as well. And you know, it ain't cold enough to be wearing gloves, y'all. So, like I said, he's still alive. He is not dead. The parents are suddenly now trying to help. It's too little, too late. The parents really do need to catch a case or 5. Okay. And we just need to, you see what I'm saying? Like I said, when there's more information coming out, we will definitely let you guys know about this. But I saw this starting to float around, this theory float around the internet. And I'm like, y'all, no, dude ain't dead. If he was dead, he would have been found already. But we got to move into the next story. This is a very important story as well. This is a woman that's been missing for well over 100 days. David's got the story about this young woman by the name of Lauren Cho. What's going on here, man?
All right, so let me bring this back up. All right, so this woman, Lauren Cho, has been missing for some time. However, there's been some new information coming out recently. One of the main things is that a New York City couple says that they had an interaction with her, but basically they have been looking for her since she suddenly vanished after a cross-country trip to California. She's originally from New Jersey, and like I said, she was going with her boyfriend and wanted to be a chef. That was apparently her inspiration to travel to another area. And then she disappeared. So CBS, one of the local CBS agencies, had covered the story and spoke with a local couple that said they spotted the missing woman days before she disappeared. That New York City couple said they spoke with her, but they did not reveal their identities, and ended up confirming with the police that they did call her Cho, or at least she went by Cho when they met her. Her friends do call her Elle, but she goes by Cho normally when she's out. They say that she was normally a happy woman and smiling all the time, and that they really hope they get some leads soon. They're asking people, obviously, to report anything they hear to the police, though there's still not a lot of great information on where they need to start looking. So they decided that after her honeymoon meal, they had for some time stayed in an Airbnb in a place called Yucca Valley, and they have receipts to prove that and everything. But shortly after, one of the she met this pair, and the husband of the pair said that the woman, they could tell that Cho was feeling very, very uncomfortable, and it seemed that like she was unwilling to engage in normal social discourse to a certain degree, or that she was uncomfortable with doing so. And that's kind of all they have right now. They are still looking for her throughout California, but her family does not really know what happened yet. They hope to hear from her voice again, but they don't have any leads to point people towards. So she's been missing now for a total of 99 days, and they don't know exactly where she disappeared, like I said, but the Yucca Valley spotting was the last one where they spotted her, which was 12 miles away from Joshua Tree National Park, which she was also present at before. She's wanted to... like I said, she wanted to be a chef, and she was working, towards that goal. So she was involved. She wasn't like an isolationist, even if she was even if she wasn't the most social when she met that two pair. She does have a lot of friends, and she was in normal contact with them. So her just disappearing and not speaking to anyone is very unusual. They say that her boyfriend and Cho were believed to leave the area early in the morning on that one day and went directly to Yucca Valley, which is where their aircraft landed. And so the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office was investigating that area and said that allegedly after leaving the Airbnb resort, she was staying with her boyfriend and other guests. Investigators have said that Cho was upset and walked away from the resort, leaving behind personal belongings. 3 hours later, authorities say her boyfriend reported her missing. And that's all the leads they have. I mean, her boyfriend went on to say her boyfriend is the one that reported her missing 3 hours after she allegedly disappeared.
Right.
And went on to praise her, said she was caring and loyal and good, like basically suggesting that this was not normal behavior. But all they have as a lead is that she seemed to be distressed and left this resort for some reason. The specifics have not been figured out yet, but obviously something occurred to make her upset, and that's why she left. Because there were other people that confirmed she was upset to some degree. It wasn't just her boyfriend saying that she was upset, but no one's saying why, which is obviously kind of a big question here. And if the boyfriend is fully telling the truth as well, or if his information is fully accurate. So there's a lot that they need to look into, and they are looking into what that dispute was, but there's no information yet. So we don't know why she left. We just know she was very upset when she left her boyfriend and the new friend she had made during the trip.
Interesting. Well, we got a clip here. Let's take a look at this as well.
The disappearance of Lauren Cho dates back to June 28th. This is the remote intersection in Yucca Valley where her ex-boyfriend claims she just walked off after they had an argument. The 30-year-old hasn't been heard from since. That ex told the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department that she left her cell phone, wallet, purse, everything behind and had only the clothes on her back. The couple had traveled here together from New Jersey to start a new chapter. Friends and family are completely baffled by her disappearance, and they want answers.
She wouldn't have just walked away from her life. She wouldn't have just evaporated and tried to leave without saying goodbye or leaving without talking to her niece first or her sister or any of her close friends. She wouldn't have just disappeared like this.
Tomorrow, Missing in America is here in Yucca Valley to take a deeper look at the disappearance of Lauren Cho.
Nancy, thank you. And Callahan Walsh, co-host of In Pursuit with John Walsh, will also be joining me tomorrow night live to help shed light on Lauren's case. It is all part of our new series, Missing in America, every Wednesday night here on News.
You know, this situation is interesting because the boyfriend files says that she went missing, right? Now, obviously, that could be a ploy. That could be a way of him just trying to cover his own tracks so that he doesn't get in trouble. But it also does make you wonder. It also makes you wonder who else could have been involved if there were other things. Because you were saying something like, apparently there was a fight or something.
Well, they haven't confirmed why. Like I said, she was just upset. The pair she spoke with said that she was evasive and she seemed very uncomfortable as well as being upset. And her boyfriend as well confirmed that she was upset or mad when she left or something of that nature, as well as the few other people she had made new friendships with at that location. They said that as well. But if any of them told the police why that happened, it hasn't been released publicly as far as I can tell. All we know is that she was very upset and that something had to have happened to make her upset. And it was considered unusual behavior by her boyfriend and her family. So, I mean, we don't know that she was in a fight for sure, but it does make sense given all the kind of things we're seeing here, though it could have been other issues as well. So we don't necessarily know who, that's the problem. We just don't know why she was upset or who made her upset. And if that's even related to her disappearance or if her disappearance was an accident or a random kidnapping that happened while she's out. It's just, there's just not enough information that they're not giving out there. And I'm not sure that they have that information because she's been missing for over 3 months now, and they really don't have any leads. Everything I gave you was those leads. Everything I gave you were the leads that they've told the public about. And they are asking the public to find her, so they're giving most of that information out. But
it just doesn't make any sense. Like, because it also makes me want to wonder, or it makes me wonder if there's any signs of, let's just say, I don't know, what if has there ever been any signs of mental health issues here? You see what I'm saying? Because you got to play those other things out, right? Because if somebody just gets up and walks away and just disappears, a lot of times it makes you wonder. Like when we talked about the Kashan Sims story last night, it makes you wonder, okay, what happened? What makes somebody disappear? What makes somebody go missing? Like Kashan Sims, there's a possibility that there was mental health involved. She was also being abused by her family, where she was in a situation where it was like she was between a rock and a hard place. It makes you wonder, like, fight or flight, right? And when you can't take it anymore, you run. You just take off. No explanation, no reasons. You just take off. But I feel like with that particular story, there's a mix of mental health going on there as well. Now, I'm wondering, when it comes to this lovely young woman, Lauren Cho, what is the story behind this? Is there a history of mental health? Is there a history of violence between herself and the boyfriend? Because it could have just been like a little trivial fight that she was having with her boyfriend, like every couple have. I mean, people have lovers quarrels all the time. Relationships, that's just what happens, right? You have a fight, you move on. And that could have put her in a really bad mood, understandably. But would that garner her to just get up and just kick rocks, skedaddle like that on her own merit? Probably not. If she doesn't have a history of this, I feel like that's a piece that would have been said by now. We would have been heard that, right? We would have heard them say, yes, she has this, and this, or she's been battling depression or something, right? We don't hear that with this situation. So it is very strange that she just up and just disappears. Do we instantly go and aim towards the boyfriend? Or do we look at other elements that might have been in the area that could have caused her to disappear? What are your thoughts, David?
Yeah, I really don't know. Obviously, she was distressed when she left. But if there's anyone there that made her distressed, it doesn't seem like they followed her, because everyone was still present with each other. According to their stories, according to their stories, they were all there together still after she left. And she did meet that couple from, I believe, New York, I said, by herself. So she was by herself when she met that couple and spoke to them a little bit. So it's unlikely that whoever's at the hotel was following her very closely. But it's hard to say. If they're all lying, or if they tricked each other, there could have been one of them that slipped out while the others didn't realize. Or, I mean, there's just all kinds of possibilities, and that's the problem with the lack of information on this one. But they're kind of closed-lipped on this one. They haven't released any interviews they've had with the boyfriend, who by default is the first suspect in most cases. In most of these cases, they usually go for somebody that knows the victim first, because that's based on statistics, that's most likely the case, that the person who killed someone or kidnapped them knew them. Obviously, it's not always that way. But they just aren't given if they have information, even, they aren't giving it to us. And she doesn't seem, based on what her parents have said, that she doesn't seem like she's one of the people, like a hiker that goes out into these reserves and just disappears for a while. She was staying at a relatively nice cabin and everything. Like, it was an Airbnb. I guess it wasn't really a cabin, but it was back in that area. It was a nice place from what the news said, anyway. And so it doesn't make sense, based on her story, that she would disappear into the woods. She wants to be a chef, and she doesn't seem to have much experience or desire to be involved with the wild. So her going off on her own and just kind of disappearing doesn't really make sense. If she disappeared into the woods like that, or, I mean, if she disappeared by her own free will, it doesn't make sense. If she disappeared for some other reason, I mean, that does make more sense based on her personality. And this is from her family and friends again, but it does not seem like this is part of her normal behavior. And she doesn't go into the woods very often. She's not that kind of person. So she would normally be in a town, but she's not. So where'd she go? No one has an idea, it seems.
I got a little bit here too. There's some more stuff here that I'm looking at. So so I guess somebody said that there was that the last face-to-face interaction she had with the missing woman was at a dinner. I know you said some of this, but I'm just adding a little bit more to it. So it was when Cho brought over a honeymoon meal for the new bride and her husband at a Yucca Valley Airbnb back in May, a $206 dinner. The host of the compound suggested the new couple get. Everything was vegetarian. It was all super fresh. I remember we ate every bite. She seemed to be in great spirits. It was a different encounter for the newlyweds, who told CBS 2 they met Cho, 30, the day before at a pool with her boyfriend. I could tell that Elle, that's her nickname, was feeling a little uncomfortable. I feel like he was ignoring her a bit, more to socialize with others. He did say, "This is my partner, Elle." A month after the couple returned home, they learned that the woman they thanked for cooking them their private meal was reported missing. Authorities say Cho's then ex-boyfriend told them she walked away from the compound around 5 p.m. on June 28th, leaving behind her personal belongings, like we just said, suffering from mental distress. Let me repeat that again. She left the compound at 5 p.m. June 28th, leaving all of her personal belongings behind after suffering from mental distress. 33 days later, investigators served a search warrant at the resort, but it is unclear what evidence, if any, was found. When you look at the map, it is pretty desolate, but there's a good amount of houses and whatnot there, this particular woman said. There's something not said that needs to be dug up, the husband added. That has left many wondering what happened, and Cho's family and close friends are hoping to hear her voice again. So, the Brooklyn couple were interviewed by CBS 2 on Thursday. Said someone from the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office contacted them on Monday night. Right now, investigators told CBS 2 they do not suspect foul play. Of course, they're still waiting for more leads on the case, but this is so strange. But this says right here that she disappeared, quote unquote, from what the boyfriend says, or the ex-boyfriend. I'm sorry, let me get that right. From the ex-boyfriend, that she walked away from the compound around 5 p.m. on June 28th, leaving behind her personal belongings after suffering, quote unquote, suffering from mental distress. What does that pertain? We don't know. I mean, that could be anything. You could be crying, and that's mental distress. I mean, seriously. Means it says so many different things. That could mean anything. You could be I could be mentally distressed right now talking about this. It's a very vague, okay? Very vague statement to say. You could basically say they had a fight and she was upset and she walked out the door. Allegedly. Okay? But would you go outside of the compound? Actually, before you throw it to you, David, I got a question for David. I got a question for the brain. Now, this compound, because I'm trying to re-jog my memory. The compound was where exactly? Because for someone to just walk out the door, out the middle of nowhere, go ahead. Where is it?
It was, let me get the exact address. They have it on here.
Okay, because I mean, I think it's somewhere, if I'm correct, like near Joshua Tree?
Yeah, it was near Yucca Valley.
Yes,
was
Yucca
the
Valley.
area.
So,
and yeah.
Go ahead, please.
So yeah, Yucca Valley is where they flew in, and she was staying in an Airbnb in that location, and that's where they were at the time of her disappearance.
Okay, so you're at a compound, and obviously it's probably all like, bunch of people living in the same area, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like a communal type of compound type thing.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a trail house, it sounds like.
Yeah. Like, you know, a lot of people working together in this compound, right? So she suddenly just disappears, right? So I got two theories. Because three. Okay. Well, it's more like two. Okay. One, you got a woman who's literally she's suffering from mental distress. Could she have been high? Think about it. You don't think that on the compound, you're near Joshua Tree, don't people go and trip on some stuff out there in Joshua Tree a lot of times to find spiritual connections and na. So you're sitting there saying suffering from mental distress. What if she had a really bad trip and she ran out the door or ran out off the compound? Because nobody in their right mind would just run out into the middle of the desert all willy-nilly, hoping to just find a civilization. You see what I'm saying? Maybe she smoked some of that Snoop Dogg weed. We don't know. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So mental distress is a very vague statement. Maybe she was high, they had a fight, and then she got upset and ran out. Or maybe you know what I mean? Or the ex-boyfriend had his hand in this. Or she got high, she ran out, some crazy psychopath was out there and did something to her. Or she died from nature, from being out there.
It's definitely possible.
It's weird, but it's been 3 months. So where's her body? You see what I'm saying? If there is a body, where is it? Where's her remains? You know, like I said, I'm not trying to be comedic here. I'm just trying to play out all these options. But if you say mental distress, I think maybe she took some, you know, she dropped some something, you know what I mean? A little something, little LSD. I don't know. Maybe some shrooms. And she had a really bad high, really bad trip. Freaked out, ran out the door.
Yeah, and
Go ahead.
I was going to say about the specific Airbnb. It's kind of used like a cabin, though it's a proper, you know, for real house. It's not like a log cabin, but it's used that way because this is a remote trail. So a lot of times people, this is what the news was saying, take this Airbnb just off the trail path so that they can, you know, I mean, a lot of times at these cabins, people do party and stuff like that and then go out on the trail for a while. But they were on a remote trail. Obviously, it was a trail that led back to the common areas. And this Airbnb was used frequently before. So this isn't like a shady house that's had these problems in the past. It was used successfully before by people. And like I said, it was on a remote trail. And that's where she walked out and just disappeared. It's not like she walked down the city street. She walked down a remote trail next to this location and then disappeared. So, I mean, that's what makes it very strange. It could be, I guess I would think maybe that may be an animal involved at that point, though it could still obviously be murder of some kind. You never know.
Or an animal. I forgot. I'm sorry. I forgot to put in. That's what I meant by nature. Like she just went out and nature just swallowed her whole. And that's a possibility too. I'm not trying to be callous about this, but the possibilities are endless. Maybe the ex-boyfriend had a hand in this, maybe not. It could have been completely innocent. I mean, I hear a lot of crazy stories where people will go trip balls and do something really, really stupid out there. You know, really, really catastrophic and really, really hurt, that like self-afflicting pain on themselves that they didn't realize that they did because they were so high. You know, so this one is very interesting. And of course, like, I would love to know your thoughts, you know, and your theories, guys. So definitely comment down below and let me know what you think on this. We got a few minutes, so I wanted to open up the phone lines, or not the phone lines. I'm going to open up the video lines. If that works, then we're going to stick with the video calls. If not, I'm going to open up the phone lines. But I wanted to hear... You know what? I take that back. I'm opening up the phone lines. F this. One second. I'm opening up the phone lines because I want to hear your thoughts on all this. As far as what we are talking about. What are your thoughts on this situation? Give us a call. 314. Sorry, David. 314-766-4581. Give us a call. What are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this story or on the Brian Laundrie issue? Do you think he's dead, or do you think he's still out on the lam? David, what are you going to say?
I was going to say that, so the Pioneer was pointing out that it's ex-boyfriend, like you said. However, you got CBS and CNN are both saying it's just their boyfriend. But if you look at the other news sources, they are saying ex-boyfriend. So the local sources are saying ex-boyfriend, but it looks like CNN and CBS are reporting it as her current boyfriend. So there is some misleading news out there, apparently. I double-checked through a bunch of articles after he said that. Most of them are saying it's ex-boyfriend, but a few of the major ones, like I said, CBS and CNN have reports out there saying it's her current boyfriend.
I mean, the possibility, like, and that's the thing. The news has the media has got to get the story straight. You know, get the semantics right. Is it ex-boyfriend? Is it boyfriend? But it's still, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. He did have a romantic relationship with this woman for a while, and then she went missing, and he was the one who filed, who called in to say that this woman was missing. So, regardless, he is a person of interest instantly, because it makes you wonder, no matter what, if they were broken up or not, they were still connected with each other in some aspect. They were all living on that compound together. So something must have happened. Like I said, there was probably a big ass party, or they were all hanging out after having some huge dinner. Maybe there was a little bit too much alcohol involved. Maybe there was a little bit too much of something else involved. And then she just ran off. The possibilities are endless here. Okay. Okay. So I am going to open up. The phone lines are open, but I will open up, and I'm just going to see who responds first. Phone calls or video chat. So the video chat link is now posted as well. I'll just put it in there. So I'm just waiting for it to get here. Whoops. Hold on. I'll put it up. It's pinned to the top. But if you want to make a phone call, 314-766-4581. I'm just going to see who answers, who jumps on first, right? And then I'm just going to ride that wave. All right. So there's video chat. Link to the top, click on it, hop on. Love to hear your thoughts on this situation. We got Laura Strada in the house. Hello, Laura. How you doing?
I'm fine. Good morning. Good morning, David.
Good morning. Good morning. What are your thoughts on this? Speak on it.
Oh, my goodness. This stuff is just getting crazy, Pascal. You know what? I know you weren't kidding regarding, her maybe, taking a little mushroom trip, or when we take that cron and it goes too much into the head and it triggers it can trigger some mental breakdowns. I'm right. Being honest, I've had that happen.
Or it's too much alcohol. It could literally just be alcohol too. I've seen people have mental breakdowns or go into mental distress drunk as hell, so I mean it's possible, but what are your thoughts?
And the thing is mental health has really come alive on the social media front regarding, the whole everything. I think right now we're kind of reflecting that we know that social media is good at putting that fakeness, that front up, and the masks are coming off a lot. And, you realize how much these influencers have influence on people. So when they do show their true colors or they take the mask off, it's so hard for people to, process that, yes, there's mental illness and depression and anxiety and life is hard. And you had mentioned that this young lady, that she moved from New Jersey to California to change her life. So obviously that's a hint to say that things weren't so great back at home. So there's a lot here, and all we have is that she's missing and that it's not like her. And I feel bad for boyfriends right now, because it seems like they call in or try to, the girlfriends are missing. Now it's like they're the prime, they're the prime suspect now. But I don't know. It's just there's something going on with the trend that started through this Brian Laundrie thing. And now it's kind of, we can use it as, oh my goodness, we're finally we're finally listening to these, MIA people, their cases. But is it going to make a difference? Are we going to start finding these missing women or MIA guys? I don't know.
I mean, I am thankful that we are like these stories are starting to come out and people are going, hey, what about all these other people that have gone missing? Yes, there has been a uptick, let's just say a trend lately of missing person cases for sure. But I think that they deserve the light that they have been getting. And I'm cool with it. Because they need to be talked about. I think that we hear about, certain people have been missing for so long, and then we're just like, yeah, and moving on, and we're talking about masks and getting the poke or not to get a poke and all that stuff. And I think that I think that this is the time to start talking about these things, to bring these things to light. We do have Katie Weaver in the house. Hello, Katie.
Hey, how are you all?
We are good. We are good. You are. Oh wow, she's in the middle of doing some deliveries, y'all. Yeah. What is up?
Well, I know that there was a sighting of Brian Laundrie out in Blount County, Tennessee. It has not been confirmed yet. However, the road that the hiker spotted him on actually leads out, it dumps out in or onto Highway 321. And I believe that he's up here in the Appalachian Mountains.
Interesting. See,
I really do.
I don't think it's a far-fetched idea. To be really honest, I really don't think it's a far-fetched idea that he's in the Appalachian Trails. I really don't. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, if you look at the Carlton Reserve, I mean, directly to the west is the Gulf, and the only other direction to go is north along the Appalachian Trail, or east, which is through heavily populated areas. So it does make the most sense that he either went by boat or he went north, I think.
I think there are it's not a far-fetched thing, because here's the thing. If you are known to go to a place and you'll go back and forth for 5 days at a time, because apparently it wasn't like he was out there for months. He'd go out there for 5 days, come back home, chill, collect himself, probably wash that ass, and then go back up there and do his thing for 5 more days. He would just do that back and forth. So if that is his comfort zone, why wouldn't he go back to his comfort zone? So the possibility of him being there is not far-fetched. Go ahead, Katie.
I just think it's really easy to hide up there. I mean, you've got natural stream water, you've got resources for food, the whole 9 yards. I mean, and there's so many places that,
It's easy to get lost out there. It's easy to just go off the grid, live off the fat of the land, and just go ghost, right? Yes. So, he might be there. He just might be. He just might be there. But Katie, I know you got some deliveries to take care of. So go do your thing. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you for having me on, dude. I appreciate it. And
Anytime,
great show.
Sweetheart.
I love watching you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Have a good day.
Laura, what are your thoughts on that? Because I didn't want to take up too much of her, I didn't want to eat away from her job. You know what I mean? She gotta make that money.
That was real.
That money, Katie. Go make that money. Go make them bags, baby. But what are your thoughts on that, Laura?
Well, first off, Katie, that was some multitasking. That's some good stuff.
I couldn't do it. I really couldn't do it. I'm just being real. I'd be like, hold on.
When she was talking about, I was going to ask her before she went off, how is that possible? I know that people say that he was like a camper. He could do those basic kind of skills, set up a tent, all that kind of stuff. But but everybody in the chat or whatever is like, is he a survivalist? If he, is he one of those doomsday, that he's some magical camper or something? I mean, as much as people say, oh, you could survive in the Appalachians, meaning there's all these resources and everything, but also, well, can he? I mean, this is what's making me frustrated, is because the FBI is supposedly involved. You got all these people, you got dogs. Hello, somebody find them. We're not stupid. It's just one of these things where I get so caught up in the media frenzy, and then just common logic comes into my head. How have we not found him yet? It's just frustrating.
I think I have some answers for you on that one.
Real quick, before you do the answers, I just want to do this real quick so we can do it. UPS or Living the Dream or Katie Weaver, thank you so much for becoming a member of the Pascal Show family. Thank you so much. Like I said, you can hit that, or I haven't said it yet. Click that join button down below. You can help to support this channel if you're enjoying the content and the stories that we are covering, because we cover more than just Brian Laundrie and the Gabby Petito case. We cover a lot of different things on this channel. Okay, so please, if you are interested in supporting this channel, every little bit helps. It's only $4.99 a month. Just click that join button down below. All right, David, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say that. So I've hiked parts of the Appalachian Trail and the Pacific Crest Trail. I haven't done like the month-long hike or anything, just a few days. But on both of them, they're fairly well traveled, and there's a pretty in-depth system people have to get through these. So for a lot of places, they will mail supplies to their next stop about 2 days away. So they'll go ahead and have stuff mailed to them from the store or whatever. And a lot of these places will hold it because a lot of these places depend on Appalachian Trail hikers to kind of make a money. And a lot of parts of the Appalachian Trail go right next to or even through parts of towns. So there's a lot of places along the Appalachian Trail to get supplies. There's also depots, a few places where they'll just give you, like, people just sitting out that live along the trail love to give people tea and food and things so they can go along. So surviving along the Appalachian Trail for a month is not as hard as it is surviving in the backcountry or in an unpopular trail, because the Appalachian Trail is very well traveled. It's the most well traveled cross-continental trail in the U.S.
Yeah,
Well,
go ahead, Laura. Go ahead.
I was going to say, well, that I would think that if that's happening, the people are going to be more aware to look for him. Then, you know what I'm saying? Like, if there's all those little areas to stop, this story is is national enough to get people talking that are working the Appalachian, everywhere. So again, it's just such a frustrating situation.
It is a very frustrating situation. I totally agree. There are too many, like I said, there's too many stories going around, too many speculations, too many theories and all that stuff. But obviously, it wouldn't be a bad idea if they did start looking towards the Appalachian Mountains, towards them Dar Hills. That's what they need to do. That's what I think. We have Joel Garcia in the house. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, guys? Thanks a lot for having me in the show.
Anytime.
I'm listening to you guys, and this is interesting. There's a lot of female out there disappearing, and me and my wife, we do a little road trip sometimes, and I see the situation around different states. Like when I'm driving, like I had like the other couple of days, we had like an anniversary, and me and my wife decided to drive to Florida. I'm in Pennsylvania right now. And I never did that before with my wife, and we did that. Traveling was nice. But I see around my area, I seen a lot of stuff going on in this world, man. And we gotta be careful. These females gotta be careful what they doing out there in a road trip, and hiking and stuff like that. It's kind of dangerous out there, you know what I mean? And that's one thing that, we gotta consider, and it's not a good thing traveling by itself, you know what I mean? And it's good to travel by a group, not alone. You can't be alone because there's a lot of things happening out there.
Facts.
That's all I could say.
Well, Joel, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. I feel like nowadays, at least we can see now, that it's safer to travel in groups. It's safer to travel with people that you actually trust, that you love. I'll say this too. Don't go on huge like excursions with people that are violently abusing you or just abusing you in general, period. Because here's the thing, something bad could happen on the road, and then next thing you know, you are a missing person. You see what I'm saying?
In a group is better because if somebody disappeared, they got information about that person. You know what I mean? They know about that person and got disappeared. Hey, he was with us. This is what happened. Such and such thing in that story. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's good. it's tough. And these days, you know, we're not in the 60s no more. We're not in the 70s that everybody, you know, just hanging on and everything, you know. There's a lot of stuff going on now.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, a lot of craziness going on, obviously, in light of everything that we've been dealing with for the past year and almost 2 years now. You know, there's just a lot of stuff that we've been battling and all the frustrations and all that.
Yeah.
So some of the people out here that are snapping are kind of from a result of the things that we've been dealing with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to be careful.
Case up to Brian, he's not dead. My personal instinct that he's out there in the woods, and he been out there, and I heard stories about it. Been out there for 3 months out there, you know, without knowing. But my thing is, he's not the only one doing that trail. Probably people pass by through that trail, you know what I mean, and never spotted. He probably picked this place that nobody could see him. You know, I don't know. That's my thought. You know, what you gonna do?
I think that he picked. I think he has very crafty parents. I think that they had a lot of time, at least a couple days, to figure their thing out, so they didn't rush to their decisions. I think that there is a lot of this was all, like I said, I think this was all properly planned out with him and his parents. Now, when it comes to his sister, that's another conversation in itself, because I don't think she's a mastermind. I think she is just a pawn in this game. But I think the true masterminds are the parents and Brian Laundrie working together for sure. I wanted to show this too really quick. Here's a photo of Brian Laundrie's dad driving. I guess I don't know if they're driving to or from the actual swamp, but they're out here. He's officially out there trying to help out, and there's a big black SUV in the back behind him. God knows what's going on now, but maybe there's some more developing information that will be popping off here very, very soon. Because, like I said, it's this story is getting ridiculous. So I'm hoping to hear that we hear something very, very soon. But Joel, Garcia, I want to say to both you guys, thank you so much for hopping on. I really appreciate your opinions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Talk to you guys soon. Peace.
Thanks for calling.
Yes. So, I mean, obviously there's going to be more developing news, you know what I mean? And all that. So we're still looking in all that. Yes. Oh, send that to me. Oh, you did? Okay. There's something else I want to pull up here really, really quick because, you know, like I said, we always get these developing pieces kind of at the last minute. And then, of course, we're going to be wrapping up the show because I know that David's got some things to do. So let me pull this up right quick, and then we're going to be wrapping up the show. Apparently, there's a live feed going on right now showing off the search going on. I don't know if there's any added information here, but we're going to look at this really, really quick for a few moments before we wrap up the show. Just a little bit. It says Brian Laundrie's dad. We already know this, right? Brian Laundrie's dad assisting law enforcement in search for son. Attorney says, you know, the baloney, baloney Bertolino has been saying. So this is happening right now as we speak. So let's take a quick look.
Keep looking.
Paul Amison for us here, everybody, the voice of Eagle 8 HD. And again, we will keep his microphone open as you're, again, joining us across many platforms, WFLA.com, the WFLA app, YouTube and Facebook. Hello to our social media audience, of course, as we have in previous weeks. You can use hashtag HeyJB, and we can feature some of your comments here out of the Facebook Live and YouTube Live comment sections here. No activity really being spotted here by Eagle 8 HD yet, but that could change here in the minutes ahead once the active search gets underway, unless the active search is already underway. But because of how heavily dense and wooded some of these areas are, it could be on foot here in some of the areas that you're looking at here as far as the Carlton Reserve. So Eagle 8 HD, there's no one better than Paul Amison to be scanning, of course, the ground here, looking for activity here, and we'll keep his mic open and he can chime in as soon as he finds something from Again, Eagle 8 HD. Okay, let's take some of the Facebook Live questions and YouTube Live questions that are coming in. You can use.
Okay, so obviously, as you can see right now, nothing's happened yet. Nothing's underway as we speak. They're still kind of getting things, boots on the ground, getting their boys together so that they can actually do what they need to do and possibly find this man, Brian Laundrie, in the swamp. But I'm going to tell you this. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But my speculation, my theory is that he ain't there. He is not in there. He is not in that swamp. He is somewhere completely different. If they go and they use that father, they use the father, and they go and look at all that stuff, and they go hit the trail and all that crap, and they still find nothing, they need to start looking elsewhere. They need to just scratch it and start looking elsewhere. That's what I think. You have 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks of this man. Well, yeah, about 3 weeks of this man being able to run. He's skedaddled a long ass time ago, y'all. He been gone. I don't think he's in that swamp. But hey, if he's in that swamp, then it is a dead body. That's my theory. That is my absolute theory right there. But as we've been saying, we will be talking about this and covering it as things start to unfold. Hopefully, oh my God, I hope that this is the end of the road. I hope it's the end of the road. Now, I know the Pioneer said, Pascal, you said you'd give it to Halloween. No, I said if they didn't find him by Halloween, then I'm done. Like it's a wrap, son. He's in Dubai at that point. Okay? So I'm hoping that this week we are wrapping up the saga, this chapter of where is Baldo? Oh, I'm a jerk. But yeah, I've been seeing that a lot. Where's Baldo? You know what I'm saying? No offense, because I'm bald, so I'm allowed to say it because I'm bald. You see what I'm saying? I can say it. You can't, David. You feel me? But anyway, Industrial Arts, Denver, Colorado. Thank you so much for $5 super chat. Real quick, he said they need to keep a camera on Dad because if he knows his body language, because I guess we know his body language will change. You know what I mean? You ain't wrong. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I really do appreciate it. But like I said, where is this man? Where is Brian? And I'm hoping that they figure this out by the end of this week so that we can move on to other stories because there's other things that are going on in the world that are very important as well. But I know this is salacious. This is huge. This is like a very big, juicy steak. You know what I'm saying? It's tasty. You know what I mean? And I get it. Don't get me wrong. I'm all up in it too. I'm sopping it up with a biscuit and everything. Okay? So do me a favor before you take off. Please hit that like button down below. Please send it past 500 likes. That would mean the world to me. Really, it would. And also, please crush that subscribe button. Please. It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family, guys. So please crush that subscribe button. We are marching our way towards 50,000 subscribers, and it's been amazing to meet new family members every single day. And of course, speaking of members, don't forget to hit that join button if you feel like supporting this channel, because I go live randomly, okay? Because if it's a breaking story and all that, I do go on very randomly from time to time. So please support the channel. Hit that join button, or you can join. If you want to really know about stuff that's going on behind the scenes, please hit that follow and become a patron on patreon.com/the Pascal Show. We'd love to have you over there and love to have your support over there as well. Anyway, it's time to get going. All right. And ain't nobody should be eating pineapples on pizza. The hell is wrong with you, nerd? That is sacrilegious. That is un-American. No, I'm kidding.
I disagree with you.
You ain't American, David. Man. That ain't American. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Don't kill me. Don't come at me, y'all. I'm kidding. It's disgusting.
My favorite one is with jalapenos, dried jalapenos, and then hot sauce, and then pineapples. It's really good together.
Ooh.
You gotta try it sometime.
That sounds fire. Yeah. See, okay, you throw in the hot sauce, I'm with it. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, okay. I just don't like sweet with salty. It's just weird. It's weird to me. Unless it's like a pretzel, like a chocolate dipped pretzel. You feel me? Then that makes sense. Yeah. But a pineapple though, it's hard. It's hard to think.
It works. You can replace banana peppers with it a lot of times, I think.
Word. Okay. I'm with it. I'll take that. I will take that. Well, anyway, guys, it's time to get going. He's got things to do. So do I. If there's anything popping off, I'll let you guys know. I promise. I will let you guys know if there's anything popping off in the next few hours. If they have found him dead or alive. Isn't that a song? Dead or alive, right? That's a song, right?
Damn, I don't know if it's a song.
Dead or alive. Yeah, that's a song. Yeah, I know that song. Okay.
Yeah, I remember this
song. But anyway, rocking out. See, this is when you're supposed to be, letting that hair flow while you headbang while I'm singing the song, but you're not with me on this. You're not helping me out, David. Like, what the hell?
It's not really headbanging music.
I thought it was. It's not? Okay, see, I don't listen to that kind of music, so there you go. You
need at least a double pedal bass drum.
Oh, you need that's when you just
one pedal can't get that. One pedal can't get that beat down.
Oh, I see. It's I guess it's a ballad, right? Isn't it like more of a ballad?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Seen a million faces, and I rocked them all, something like that.
Yeah.
I just figured, just a nice slow headbanger bop.
I listen to metal, so it's a different scale for me, I guess.
Yeah, your heart definitely beats to a different drummer for sure. But anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Enough of this corny ass ish. Y'all be blessed out there. Enjoy your day. If there's anything popping off, like I said, I will be going live. Okay. A-Lady 747, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I can't pull it up right now, but she says, she's in the pineapple hot sauce on Pizza Club with David. You know what? I'm going to have to try that one time because it's been an ongoing talk of like to pineapple or not to pineapple on pizza. That is the major question. I'm going to have to try it one time and then eat it live and then tell you how I really feel about it. Real talk. With the hot sauce and everything. Because with the hot sauce, it kind of sounds fire. Now it kind of sounds
good.
Fire. All
Chicken's the only good meat with pineapple, I think, or Canadian bacon, ham.
Ooh.
Any other meats kind of suck though.
Canadian
with
bacon.
Pineapple, I mean.
Nah, bacon, because that's un-American. Okay, Canadian, and we don't want no foreigners on our pizza.
Any kind of bacon, I guess. As long as it's fatty and bad for you, it'll be good.
You know what I mean? Word to Mute, thank you so much for the for being a member for 7 months. He has been a member on this crazy ass show for 7 months. She says, I love you all. We love you too. So very, very much. Thank you so much for your support, literally. And then, I can't pull it up. Dag nabbit. Hold on. One more person just did a super chat. Dory, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. She says Bon Jovi rocks and Chicago would not allow pineapple on pizza. Dag nabbit. That's right. See, that's what I'm saying. It just seems a little weird. It's just a little awkward turtle right here. Okay. Just saying that out loud. Just a little awkward. All right. But anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. David, thank you again for being on. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a great show.
Yes, it's nice to have the brain on the show every once in a while because I'm dumb as hell. Anyway, love you guys. We'll see you guys soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center, a professional nuisance wildlife management company specializing in providing animal removal for residential, industrial, and commercial clients. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. Exactly which animal are we dealing with? How is the animal getting inside the home? What kind of damage is the animal doing to the structure? Once we get the answers to all of these questions, we develop and write up an action plan to resolve the animal issue completely and provide a quote to implement that action plan. We perform a very in-depth 70-point wildlife inspection. From visually inspecting the highest point, the chimney, to physically crawling inside the attic space and looking for animals, chewed wires, fecal matter, chewed structural wood. We inspect everything. Our inspection process covers all of the following 70 points: animal-proof chimney cap, roof ridge vents, roof to soffit junctions, dormer fascia, attic gable vents, gutter lines, fascia trim, garage door, utility penetrations, water, gas, electric, and cable, bathroom vents, attic roof ridge vents, attic electrical, wiring, junctions, boxes, and lighting, concrete decks, additions, wooden crawl spaces, basement plumbing, penetrations, ceiling, floor, and wall. Wildlife Command Center's mission is to deliver the finest quality wildlife removal and pest control service that is safe for the environment. For more information, call us now.